What it do, T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea All Shade Baddies West Season 3, Episode 8 review. The episode picks up where it left off last week with Razor and Stunner Girl getting into it on the private plane. Stunner Girl has pulled Razor's wig off. She won't get off the plane until she get her wig back. She gets her wig back. She trying to adjust it on her head as she's being escorted off the plane. It's just a mess. She getting up off this plane looking like Mama from Mama's Family with this gray wig child. She's steady screaming and hollering, making a fool out of herself. Stunner Girl is then separated from the group once again and put into a different car from them. Lo, Razor, and Natalie get in the van together, and Natalie says she is embarrassed by this. She's not trying to get her flying mileages taken away. And I'm like, out of everything that has happened on this show, on Bad Girls Club, this is what embarrassed you? This is what embarrassed you, Natalie. Okay. All right. I see where your priorities lie. So on the other bus with the other set of girls, you have Rolly, Kat, Sky, and Tommy, as well as Biggie. So they decide to call Krishan to see where the heck she at, because ain't nobody talked to her. So she tells the girls that she has court the next day, but she gonna link up with them at the next club that they're going to. So then Rolly suggests that they all, get a little bit deeper and talk about their lives. It's obvious that the producers told them to do that. So she kicks stuff off by letting the girls know that, growing up, she really didn't have anybody. Her dad wasn't around and her mom was too busy, worried about whoever she was dating at the time. And she says that, her sisters had their fathers and she felt really alone growing up. I think she said she had 3 other sisters. And she says that, she suffers from depression. And she was like, I've been in homeless shelters with my kids. I was there for like 3 months. And she says that she smokes to be happy and not stress out because she's always stressed. And that's a really sad place to be in, to feel alone, like you don't have any family and worrying about where you're going to rest your head and where you and your kids are going to live and be. And it's sad that she has to depend on drugs in order, not drugs, but, marijuana to feel okay with life. You know what I'm saying? That has to be really, really bad. But I get it and I understand. And it makes me wonder, is that why she keeps on doing this show? Because of the exposure and whatever money she's getting from it. But it can't even be like she's getting like money from this, because just last year she was, on live talking about how she still was on food stamps. So, like, I understand. I guess she got to do what she got to do to keep a roof over her head and take care of her kids. So I can't even fault her for that or judge her for that. But it's just really unfortunate the way that she's grown up and the things that she's had to go through. So then Sky lets the girls know that she lost her dad to COVID and how she really hadn't dealt with it. And then Kat says, my best friend passed away this year from COVID. He wasn't in good health anyway. And she's talking about the DJ K Slay. And she says, he put me on my first cover. He meant the world to me. COVID just came and wrecked SHIT. And she says that, he was like the realest dude she ever knew. He was her best friend. And, she just gets emotional. And it's just sad that, so many people passed away from COVID. Y'all know I just caught COVID for the first time a few weeks ago. And when I tell y'all I never want to experience that again, it was like having the flu times 10. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. So I can only truly imagine, like, oh my God. So then Biggie says to Tommy, talk to me. Tell me what's going on with your life. And Tommy was like, nah, this moment about y'all. It's about y'all. And so Biggie was like, well, I was bullied in school a lot. It wasn't until I started doing stuff at the club that people started trying to respect me. I grew up too Latin to sit around the black girls. And then I was too black to be around the Latin girls. I grew up in the hood and I'm trying to get out of there. I want to tell my mama she don't have to work no more. And I'm like, girl, I know you got bullied for more than the fact that you were Latino and black. That voice, I know you got bullied because of that voice, darling. That's probably one of the main reasons why you got bullied. But on a serious note, you can tell that Biggie wants more for herself and her family, and that she's going to work hard and grind hard to get it. And I think that she's going to end up being very successful because she is a grinder and she is a hustler, and she gonna get it by any means necessary. But you can tell she's not a malicious person, that she ain't shysty or sneaky or nothing like that. You can tell like she genuinely is a hard worker, and I do want to see her win. I really honestly do. And back in the other car with Natalie, Razor, and London, Razor is still having one of her episodes, child, where she has turned into a Tasmanian devil, and she's still on there screaming and hollering. I forgot Scotty is there too. Scotty is there as well. So Scotty is sitting next to her. And this weirdo, some Scotty, I don't want you sitting next to me. Move. I don't mess with you. And it's like, what? She ain't even did nothing but breathe. It's like, what she do? I thought your beef was with Stunner Girl. So Natalie was like, Scotty, just move. So Scotty gets up. She don't even care. She gets up and moves. And one of the security goes to sit next to Razor. And so Lo was like, why she gotta move? And she was like, I don't want her sitting next to me. Razor was like, now I'm gonna tell Krishan. I'm gonna tell her to get her. And it's like, huh? Like, this girl is all over the place. First, she don't like Scotty. She wants Scotty to move. She don't mess with Scotty. Now she bringing Krishan into the situation, talking about some, I guess Krishan told her, like, if anybody messing with her, she'll have her back. So now she want to call Krishan and tell Krishan about Stunner Girl and her fight. And so Natalie was like, you know, we're not going to do that. We're not going to call Krishan. We're not going to get her involved in this. But Razor said, you ain't going to tell me what to do. And she picked up the phone and called Krishan anyway and tells her what happens. And I don't know how Rock responded or anything like that. Next thing we know, Natalie was like, you know, we're in Phoenix. We're going to try to figure this out. And Razor screaming at the top of her lungs, no. Mind you, she has been in Lo face twice, screaming and yelling and punching the seats. And Lo just was sitting there unfazed by it. But ain't no way you would have had your hot breath all up in my face, because I know it stank. You was sitting on that dang on airplane drinking, so now your breath already smell like alcohol. You've been yelling and screaming and crying, so you know when you get to yelling and screaming and crying like that, your breath starts stinking, girl. So I know her breath was funky and hot. You can't tell me she ain't had some dragon breath going on, screaming up in that girl face. And you can't tell me she wasn't spitting on her when she was talking gross. Like, I would have gave her a 2-piece to the dome just because of that. And then on top of that, you steady screaming like a 5-year-old having a tantrum. It's like, give this girl some Benadryl so she can go to sleep, because I'm sick of her. So the ladies get to the house. It's Natalie, Razor, Lo, and Scotty, as well as Stunner. And Natalie lets them know there will be no more fighting. Everybody, you're going to this house and go to bed. Like, she is putting them on punishment. Get in the bed and go to sleep. I don't want to hear a peep out of anybody's mouths. So Scotty goes to her room and finds out that she has been placed in the same room as Sky and Biggie in some bunk beds, and she is pissed and not having it. So she takes her name off the door. I don't even remember where she went. I don't know if she took somebody else's room. I don't know what she did, but she took her name up off of there and was like, I'm not sleeping in no bunk bed. And it was a really small room to be in with 3 other girls and all y'all stuff. Like, that is a lot to deal with. So the other girls arrive, and Biggie finds out that she's in the room with bunk beds and Sky, and she is pissed off. She's like, why are they doing this to me? I'm not sleeping in here. No, I'm going to Tommy's room. This is where I'm going. I'm going to Tommy's room. And I'm like, I know Tommy dang on well ain't sharing no full-size bed with you. You must gonna be making a pallet on the floor, because you can't tell me. And I'm sorry, but Biggie looked like she smelled like Fritos. She just always look moist. I don't know. It don't be. She look like she smell like potato chips. I don't know. Nah. Little red Corvette. Yes, Tommy. She was giving me Prince, Michael Jackson, Apollonia mixed all up in one. Yes, ma'am. This look was fire. So Natalie and Tommy are in the kitchen, and Natalie tells Tommy what happened on the plane. She's shocked by it all. I'm pretty sure she already knew about it, but she had to pretend like she was, just not finding out about it. So Natalie tells her that they need to sit down and have a talk with Razor about her drinking because it's getting out of control. And Natalie also makes it known that if anybody, and she means anybody, has any type of altercation that night, they're getting sent home. And Tommy was like, well, let me start a fight then so I can go. And sure enough, on next week's episode, she boom bopped somebody in the club. Then see Tommy have a one-on-one conversation with Razor because she stated in her confessional that she understands what Razor's going through because, when she used to get sauced up off that liquor, she used to act a fool and, had an alcohol problem and stuff like that. That played out on Love and Hip Hop, and she was like, she wished she would have had somebody to tell her like to chill out. So she sits down with Razor and talks to her about the situation, and I'm like, Razor, you are so stunningly beautiful. That is a pretty girl. I'm like, girl, you just one of them people that just can't drink, honey. Or if you do drink, you need to have a 2-drink minimum, and it cannot be no like hard liquor, honey. So Tommy says to her, that, you got to slow up on the liquor. And Razor says that she doesn't think that drinking is the issue. And I was like, well, if it ain't, then what is? Because it's obvious that she has some type of past traumas too that she hasn't really fully dealt with. So Natalie and Scotty end up coming into the room and sit down. And Natalie was like, we only see that side of you when you're super lit. And Razor was like, well, this was the only time. This is the first time. And Natalie was like, no, this the second time. And she was like, stay in the boss mode when the liquor come around. Because, we in these clubs, they just gonna shower us with liquor. But that don't mean you got to take everything that's given to you, love. And so Scotty then jumps into the conversation, was like, when you get upset and you see me, I feel like it gives you a trigger. You said I don't F with her either. I thought, we were good. I ain't saying we besties or nothing, but I thought we gotten past it. And Razor was like, I could admit that was the alcohol, but I promise you, like, it's good. Like, I ain't got nothing against you or nothing like that. And I'm like, well, girl, then you really do need to take into consideration that when you get drunk, you get belligerent, you get angry, you start bringing up old stuff, you're aggressive, you start to attack people, you yelling and screaming and crying, like you're a mess. And I know when she watches this back, she has to be at home cringing by her behavior because she showed her butt and made herself look like a fool. At the end of the episode, we see Natalie and Tommy dressed for the club that night, and they gather the girls to divvy up the money that they made in Vegas. And I lived for Tommy's outfit. It was giving me Dion from Clueless vibes. Oh my God, the platform heels, everything was just chef's kiss. So before they get to the part about divvying up the money, Natalie and Tommy talk to the girls about what needs to go down when they get to the clubs. Like who's going to perform, who's going to do what, who's going to do this, that, and the third. And so Lo was like, she want to perform, but her song isn't all the way finished. And Natalie was like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. Like the song ain't done. Like that ain't what you was brought on this show for. You were brought on this show to make an appearance, be cute, twerk, whatever. And I agreed with Natalie because like that's not your lane, love. Like your song was cute, but it ain't even finished and mastered and none of that. So then Natalie also tells DJ Sky to just be DJ Sky. Don't you get up there and perform a song without letting us know either. Like, no, the people that were brought on here to perform are the ones that are going to perform. She tells Kat to like serve drinks to people. The other girls, just keep the crowd hype, dance, have a good time. Then the performers perform. So then they get to splitting up the money. Natalie lets the girls know that they made $20,000 when they was in Vegas. Now, mind you, they got to divvy that up between 11 women, which is a joke within themselves. This whole time they talking about, we get into the bag. We get into the bag. We get into the bag. it's a problem if you got Tommy, you got Natalie, you got Rolly, you got Krishan, and that's all y'all made was $20,000. That's a problem. Because with y'all names alone, all of y'all put together, y'all should at least got 50 bands. Unless somebody lying and pocketing some money, because that's ridiculous. Ridiculous at this point. Like, and y'all bringing the cameras in and giving this club publicity, and all y'all got was $20,000 to divvy up between 11 people. Girl, y'all ain't getting no bag. That's still a 2 weeks paycheck. Like, no. Tommy was like, I'm so ashamed. Like, I'm not dealing with this. And she walked out the room. So Natalie falls behind her, I guess, to, bring her back into the room, keep her on task. And she comes back in, and Tommy was like, I've done radio, I've been on TV. Like, this is what I make when I go to the club by myself. I make $20,000. So Rolly was like, I feel like the performers should get more because we do the most. And she's trying to make it seem like them performing on stage for 3 minutes or however long their song is like hard work. It ain't like you putting on a full show with dancers, lights, and all of, like, you literally just standing there holding the mic, girl. Like, stop. But I do feel like the performer should get a little bit more than the other girls. Just a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. So say, for instance, if they was divvying it up where they get $2,000 a piece, even though they not getting that with 11 people and $20,000. But let's just say one girl that's, just being cute and keeping the crowd hype get $2,000. I feel like the rappers then, or the performers, should at least get $2,500, something like that. So Tommy was like, this right here is what I get by myself. The performers should get more. Lo was like, well, this is not a concert. This is an appearance gig. And Tommy was like, so you honestly feel like you should be paid equal to me as long as I've been in this SHIT? And I'm sitting there like, well, if you want to take it there, to my knowledge, and I may be wrong, but y'all refresh my memory. But if you want to bring up the fact that you've been around for so long and you've been doing this for so long, hasn't Lo been on TV longer than you? Was she on Bad Girls Club before Tommy was on Love and Hip Hop? Or was this around the same time? Y'all let me know, because I thought Lo had been on television way before Tommy. Now, granted, that might have been the only show that she's done. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to talk about doing something for so long, then I would think that Lo was doing it way longer than you. Lo is sitting there on Pretty, on Ready, giving us face, giving us beat, giving us body, giving us a Little Red Riding Hood, honey. And I was like, you better come on with this beret and this look. Yes, ma'am. You better give us titties, tatas, okay? And Lo was like, but when you signed up to come on this show, and Tommy was like, I'm not signed on to this show. I'm a producer, baby. I'm not a talent on this show. I'm a special guest to y'all performances, and I'm doing more SHIT than all of y'all. Well, no. No. You are a talent on the show. You're a producer, yeah, but you're also a talent on the show, love. You're both. So that argument made absolutely no sense. It's either you want to be behind the scenes and just be behind the scenes and be a producer and get a producer's credit, or you're going to be talent on the show, or you're going to do both and understand both of your roles. But you shouldn't get more or double because you're a producer. Y'all all on here doing the same thing. Now, you already getting a paycheck from the show. They're getting a paycheck from the show. They all getting some money to come on this show, but I'm very sure that your bag is bigger than theirs. So all of y'all done got money to be paid on this show, to be paid to come on the show. Then y'all going around the country, going to these clubs and getting money for appearance fees or whatever. So I do feel like Tommy should get a little bit more, but the same as all the other performers. I don't feel like she should get more than the other girls that are performing. That's not fair. That's not fair. No, because at the same token, you're still a talent on this show and you're still doing the same thing that Rolly, Stunna, and Krishan are doing when they perform. Like, so no, all of y'all should get the same amount of money. True. And Natalie should get the same amount of money that y'all get. But you thinking that you gonna get way more than everybody. So what you think you supposed to get? What, $10,000, and then they gotta scrounge for the rest out of the tent? Nah, girl, sit down. So she get all mad and stuff. She stand up and come up out her heels and charging over towards like she about to do something. The security jump in. It's like, girl, leprechaun. Girl, if you don't get somewhere and go find a pot of gold, girl, Tommy, sit down. It ain't even that deep. Like, you acting like you strapped for cash. I thought you was that girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? You know these girls need their money more than you do. Or maybe you need the money just as much as they do. Catch that. So, overall, though, tonight's episode was pretty cool. It was kind of low-key, a little, not boring, I'll say. But it wasn't a lot going on. Next week's episode looked like it's going to be really good. Overall, I'm going to give tonight's episode a C+. It was cute for what it was. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about tonight's episode. Should the girls all get equal pay? What do you all think about Razor's drinking? Do you think she has a problem? Let's talk down below in the comment section, you guys. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.